All right, excellent. So again, welcome and thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we're really excited to share with you the latest overview and updates for My Texas Future. So we're going to take a quick minute to introduce ourselves. My name is Lauren Disher, and I'm the Professional Learning Coordinator here at the Coordinating Board, and I started this position back in February. Previously, I was a college and career advisor for 11 years in a public high school here in Austin. And I have the pleasure of working with Farset Patrick today, and she's here with us, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Thank you, Lauren. Good morning, everyone. My name is Farset Patrick. I'm the program manager for My Texas Future here at the Coordinating Board. Prior to my time with the Coordinating Board, I was a classroom educator for 9 years, and then I was a admissions counselor for 6 years. We're so happy to have you here this morning.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I also want to quickly just say thank you very much to Andrea Panter. She is our senior network coordinator. She's behind the scenes today, dropping links into the chat. So thank you so much, Andrea, for supporting us today and being here. All right, so we may have a few folks on the line who are new to us, so I want to take a quick minute to introduce Texas OnCourse. Now, with Texas OnCourse, all Texas students, no matter where they come from or where they're headed, have a plan for success after high school. All of the materials that we produce and all of the trainings that we host, we begin with this end in mind, that the work we are doing is to really help our students have a valuable plan for after high school. Now, we're a state-funded initiative designed to improve college and career advising and readiness across the state. We were created at the request of the Texas legislator that works in partnership with the governor's Tri-Agency Workforce Initiative. All of these organizations work together to connect education and industry in Texas. The users of our tools include middle and high school counselors, teachers, administrators, and community-based organizations that focus on post-secondary success. We also provide resources for students and their families. So to give you a quick overview of today's session, we have Farset Patrick here who will talk about My Texas Future and really get into what it is. And then I will be talking about the future of My Texas Future and what we can expect in the fall 2023 and fall 2024. We also have some time at the end of this webinar for a Q&A session, and we do ask that you put your questions in that Q&A box on your Zoom screen. Just helps us to make sure that we are answering all of the questions that you have. So just like we already discussed, our resource spotlight for today's webinar is My Texas Future. Before we begin, we want to know how much you already know about My Texas Future. So I'm going to launch a quick poll. All right, so let us know, are you a beginner? Are you average or are you an expert? Like you maybe are a beginner, you've heard about My Texas Future, but you want to learn more. You're average, you've heard about it, you know some things about it, but you want to go deeper. Or are you an expert? Do you use My Texas Future in your educational practice? Awesome, thank you. Great responses, lots of beginners. Fabulous. Give it another couple seconds, but we really appreciate your participation. Lots of beginners here, a couple average. Very good. Awesome. Okay, so lots of beginners with us today. Fantastic. Yeah, this is great, guys. We always like to kind of know how much our audience already knows about the resources that we share. All right. Okay, so mostly beginners. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll, share the results. So we did have mostly beginners, which is totally fine. You guys are in the right place. All of you guys are in the right place. We're going to get into My Texas Future. All right. Let's go ahead. So currently, My Texas Future is for working age Texans and adults who want to continue their educational journey. My Texas Future provides a post-secondary planning experience that is more meaningful, more personal, and really connected to the student's current needs, lifestyles, and future goals. So to illustrate My Texas Future as it is currently, we want to start by introducing you to an adult student who would benefit from using My Texas Future. So for this example, we have Justin. And he has his associate's degree already, but he wants to continue his educational journey to receive a bachelor's degree. Now, he knows that he's already interested in government, public administration, and business management, and he's concerned about his financial resources and would like his tuition to be under $15,000 per year. So he's also a father and does not want to stray too far outside of Comal County. So as we continue through our presentation and really get into the specific details about My Texas Future, do not forget about Justin, because we're going to come back to him later on in our presentation. All right, so to get into more details about it, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Farset, and we are going to kick it off.
Thank you again, Lauren. So My Texas Future, as Lauren mentioned, is our post-secondary plan for college and career planning. The commissioner's vision is this is the standard for reshaping how Texans plan for and access higher education. And so we use the analogy from our assistant commissioner. Many of us have visited texas.gov. We've either had to update or renew our driver's license. Maybe you are needing a copy, an official copy of your birth certificate, or you need to register to vote because maybe you've moved. But we view texas.gov as the one-stop shop for everything that we need to do as Texas residents. That's the standard that we want for My Texas Future. We want all of our audiences, our curated experiences, to be all for the post-secondary college and career planning, and we want that to fall under My Texas Future. So at its core, My Texas Future is a digital tool. It is going to be known as part of an institutional advising network. It's going to be powered by rich tri-agency data. So we are partnering with just not the coordinating board internally, but also the Texas Workforce Commission and TEA, the Texas Education Agency. What you see on your screen is what the homepage looks like currently in its current state for our working age Texans or our adult learners that are already able to have their curated experience live on the site. So what do we envision as we kind of go through the different iterations and or phases of My Texas Future? We want it again to be designed for all Texans. So in spring 2023, we propelled My Texas Future currently for working age Texans to connect directly with institutions and re-enroll. So if they needed to upskill or reskill, they were looking for certifications, or again, maybe they had their associates and they wanted to earn or obtain that bachelor's degree, that is the curated experience that is live now for My Texas Future. Coming in the future, fall 2023 and fall 2024 is going to be the streamlined planning and application process for secondary students. We will talk more in detail about that as we go through the presentation, but we want to have a curated experience for those students as well as they're applying to college and the planning, the college and career planning process that goes and entails with that. Also coming in fall 2023 and fall 2024 is to promote the efficient planning and credit application for transfer students. That tool is going to be known as Map My Path, and we'll give you a little bit more information about that as we progress through the presentation this morning. So we wanted to walk you through a journey of what My Texas Future looks like in its current state now. So you go to the website, mytexasfuture.org, and you have the option to create an account. Currently, our account creation is disabled. The reason why is we are trying to design a seamless experience for our users, whether they're going to be our working age Texans or they're going to be part of our K-12 or transfer audience. And so we want to have a seamless user experience. So currently the ability for you to go in and create an account online right now is disabled. It will be brought back, but you are still able to peruse the site. But I still wanted to give you an overall preview of the site. So you create an account like you would if you go to any website and you're signing up. Maybe it's your favorite shopping website. You're going to create an account. We definitely are wanting to have those items that are asterisk. We want to make sure that those are the required items for that account creation to be completed. Once you've created your account, you come to this page, step 1 of 3, getting your profile started. You might have noticed on the previous page that there was an option for a mobile phone. We ask for that option because we want to be able to have the texting ADV chatbot integration. We'll talk about that again in upcoming slides, but it's not a required option, but it's definitely something we want to encourage our users to input that cell phone number, so that way if there are any questions as they're going through their planning process, that they can text the ADV chatbot. This first page is about you. You are able to upload a photo, tell us a little bit about yourself. Again, the required information is going to be the zip code, mostly for that regional data when we get into the career and program explorer, your date of birth, those informational things. We're calling this the learner profile setup. And so you may have missed steps 2 and 3. So steps 2 is just about yourself. What experience do you have? Do you have any college credits? Do you already have obtained an associate's degree or any credits currently? Do you have a bachelor's degree and you're still wanting to add maybe a certification? Step 3 is going to bring you to the final, where you just review and make sure all of the information is correct. When you get to the final part, you're going to see this page. This page is your learner profile that is completed. What we always encourage is for our users in any curated experience to set up a profile. You are able to save your results. You are able to save and favorite articles. And that availability is not when you're just perusing the site as an unauthenticated user, meaning you haven't set up your profile. As you can see, we have a couple of tools that we'll talk about at the very top. You are able to share your learner profile. And how would you want to share it? You have a career quiz, career explorer, program explorer, and then you see you can plan your degree with My Path. Everything in your profile is able to be edited. Nothing is solid. So it is a definitely living profile that you can update as you feel need. Like I mentioned before, the benefit to having an account created is because you can see favorited articles. These cards are able to be changed. And so each time you log in, you may see a different card, but you're also able to favorite those if you don't have time so that you can refer to them later. So the first tool we'll talk about, or first resource, is the career quiz. This quiz is going to give you personalized career ideas based on your interests. We are estimating completion time for about 5 minutes. So what you'll see is kind of what's in the graphic. You'll see these cards and you will choose the activities that sound interesting to you. And then based on what you have selected, there will be recommended career fields to explore. When you create an account, you are able to save your career quiz. And so let's say something changes, your interests change. You are able to come back and redo the career quiz. Again, it's not stagnant. We definitely want this to be a living profile, a living account for you. So you're able to take the career quiz more than one time. This may be an example of what your results would look like. You're also able to download these results. You also see the option on the right-hand side where it says retake the quiz. But yes, you can get to see the categories. They're going to be grouped, of course, and then by career fields, and then you can see all the careers located in that field. Of course, like STEM, agriculture, food, and natural resources. This would just be an example of you having your career results. And then we also always are going to have the prompt, if you're not logged in, to log in so you can save your results. So Career Explorer, let's say you select one of the results, one of the career fields, and it leads you here. Our Career Explorer allows you to find and compare careers based on demand in your area. That's why that zip code was going to be very important in your learner profile. Salary, required education, and related skills. So you'll see from the screenshot here, it's going to give you a list of careers. You're able to filter by that button, more filters. We also have kind of little badges, like we like to call them. For instance, by the accountants and auditors, better pay, in demand, medium wage, medium salary, and projected growth. Those are going to have tooltips. And so we're going to work with the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. We are going to get information from the Texas Workforce Commission for these career explorers when we're looking at median wage, median salary, and projected growth. I mentioned you're able to filter more by not just the filters you saw. So if you click or select more filters, this is the page that you would see. So you're able to get it more specified down to what you're really looking for as a user. All of these are able to be altered, changed. The buttons show only careers with available salary information, toggle on and off. Again, trying to meet each individual user's needs. You're also, again, able to favorite those careers. This availability is active when you have created an account. We stress that so often because we want to make it very apparent that we want this to be a profiled account, so that way it is something that can be used and it can be updated and edited and referred to. But this would be an example of your favorited careers. You can see a couple in a list, or you can go to the very top section where the hyperlink see all, and you can see all of your favorited careers. Career Explorer also allows you to compare careers. This is one of my favorite features within Career Explorer. I have quite a few within my Texas Future. As you can see, when you are given a list of results within Career Explorer, down at the bottom of the card, you're going to see compare, favorite, and view details. If you want to compare those careers, all you have to do is click the compare toggled or selected button area, and it will be added. You can add up to 3 careers to explore. Maybe you're looking for something specific, or you just want to compare maybe the median salary, or is there a recommended education? You can see that all in one view. This screenshot here is going to give you an example of that. So when you compare careers, again, you can compare up to 3, but for this example, comparing 2 careers, you can again toggle between hourly wage, annual salary. We're still going to have those tooltips around recommended educational level and projected growth. You can also download this as well. We again want you to have as much information available because this is part of the planning process. Program Explorer. So you have searched careers, you favorited careers, you've compared careers, and now you kind of know which career you're looking at. So for instance, the area of study would be information technology. Now that you know the career field that you're interested in, you're going to probably want to explore Program Explorer. Well, what is Program Explorer? It is going to give you a snapshot of degree and certificate programs across the state of Texas. Again, you're able to filter by what's important to you to find the right fit. So you are able to apply more filters than what's initially shown. And it's going to give you a list. You are able to sort. Right now, the sorting option is by average tuition, low to high, but you can change it from high to low. Again, whatever matches your needs. Those more filtered program results are going to be here on this slide. We've had people filter by location and distance from location. Let's say you're currently in the Austin area, but you may be moving to the San Antonio area. So you can again filter by those locations. Again, you're able to toggle only programs with available time to graduation, only programs with available tuition information. Again, a personalized, individualized experience. Favorited programs is again another option, just like Career Explorer. So in Program Explorer, you're also able to favorite programs. Again, you can see them in a list, or you can select the hyperlink see all and see them all. We still are going to have those badges below average cost, recommended for you. Recommended for you will come based off of your career quiz results. That's where that badge comes into play. Again, the functionality like Career Explorer and Program Explorer is you're also able to compare programs. So here, for instance, all within the computer and information sciences or just computer programming, and you have 3 different programs at 3 different program or certificate places in Texas. Fort Worth, Houston, and Alvin. Again, you're going to see the badges, average tuition and median salary, but you're able to compare these options in one view. So I mentioned earlier about the ADV chatbot integration. What we have partnered with is ADV, which is a chatbot. We've partnered with the vendor Mainstay. ADV has 2 components for us. The chatbot is going to answer those general college planning questions. For instance, if you look at the example on the screen, where can I learn about different types of student loans? That is a general college planning information text that they may have questions about. ADV is going to provide that general information. When can I submit the FAFSA? Those are questions that if a user has provided My Texas Future in the learner profile setup with their mobile phone number, then they have that capability. Again, it has to be an authenticated user, because if for some reason the chatbot is not able to answer the question, if it is a younger user, for instance, and they are typing in like the text, quick text type, ADV may not be able to pick that up as quickly, and so it may be escalated. The best part of our ADV chatbot integration is that we have live ADV advisors at the coordinating board. So if the chatbot is unable to answer those general questions, then it can be escalated to our ADV advisors. They do work at the coordinating board. They have a Monday through Friday, typically 8 to 5 p.m. scheduled time, but they are able to answer those questions and kind of get the conversation back on track in case the ADV chatbot was unable to assist the user at the time. Connect with an advisor is another one of my favorite features. So when we have institutions that have partnered with the coordinating board, that means they have an active MOU online with us. Then they have the option of that warm handoff. So let's say a user has been chatting with the ADV chatbot and has asked questions about FAFSA. When does the application for Apply Texas open up for fall 23? And now they want specific questions about Austin Community College. So Austin Community College would have an active MOU on file with us, and that student would see a connect with an advisor button. They would see this pop-up where they would answer just a quick general, how would you like to connect, either by phone, email. We know some universities are still offering that virtual connecting, so they can select virtual if they would like to meet virtually or in person, and then meeting goals. That is going to be sent to the live institutional advisor for My Texas Future at Austin Community College. So we have built that network, that warm handoff where they have gone from talking maybe to getting general questions answered to where they have a specific question that needs to be answered by somebody working at the institution. That is what the Connect with an Advisor feature is for. That is part of my job, where I have that outreach and that connection with the institutions currently that we are partnered with, that have somebody that can answer any specific questions about that institution and or direct the student. If it's like a departmental question, or if they need to meet with an actual advisor within that area of study.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Farsit. That was wonderful. And now we're going to bring it back to Justin. Do you guys remember him? I hope so. He was a dad. He's an associate's degree, but wants to get a bachelor's. He's worried about the cost of college and wants to study government, public administration, or business management. Well, guys, you need to help advise Justin. So now that we've learned more about My Texas Future, we can help him. So I'm going to launch another poll and let us know, and just some areas that Justin can explore in My Texas Future to help plan his future. Go ahead and launch the poll real quick. Here we go. All right. So go ahead and let us know what your answer is. What are some areas he can explore in My Texas Future to help plan his future? Is it program explorer, financial aid? Can he learn about how to save for college, or is it all of the above? Thank you guys for your participation. This is great. We have a lot of people saying all of the above. Good job. Give it a couple more seconds. All right. So lots of people saying all of the above. Very good. Awesome. Okay, as somebody said financial aid, excellent. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and end the poll. I'm going to share the results. So we had a lot of people say all of the above. And if you said all of the above, you are correct. Justin can do all of these things in My Texas Future. So thank you again for your participation. And like I said, he can do all of those things in My Texas Future to help him on his college application journey as he continues his education. So he can use the Career Explorer even, which will allow him to learn specific details about careers within government, management, and public administration. And just like we said, he can search for the right school in the Program Explorer tool, which will allow him to search schools by location and tuition, which enables him to stay within Comal County and control the cost of college. Now he can also create a profile and save his information, such as different colleges he would like to apply to. Justin can also learn about financial aid and what he needs to do in order to help pay for college. So thank you again for your participation on that. Really appreciate it. So let's talk about the future of My Texas Future. And Farsit also already mentioned a couple things about kind of what's to come, but we're going to talk some more in detail. So coming fall 2023, fall 2024, just like Farset said, we're going to have a curated experience for the K through 12 and transfer audience. So right now, this curated experience is in the developmental stage. So My Texas Future will still include resources for adult learners. And we're really excited about this future development and having a space for those K through 12, that K through 12 audience. My Texas Future will really serve as that one-stop shop for any student who desires to obtain a post-secondary credential. So here are some upcoming improvements to the My Texas Future website, and we really want to stress that our goal is to make My Texas Future a one-stop shop, like I said. It is a space for them to access reliable and standardized information around careers, colleges, career outcomes, and post-secondary options and opportunities. This information will allow students to make well-informed decisions that align with their goals for after high school. So the first update that we're going to talk about is the Apply Texas will eventually be integrated into My Texas Future. Now, this is going to happen by the spring or summer of 2024, and in its final state, a student's My Texas Future profile will actually pre-populate certain fields into Apply Texas. This is going to ultimately save time when the student starts working on their college applications as high school seniors. The second, and this is also something that Farset mentioned, is that a transfer credit tool called Map My Path will be added anywhere between fall 2023 and fall 2024, just like Farset said. And this tool will allow students to look at the transferability of their dual credit or early college high school classes into colleges and universities. This is going to be a great tool that we're really excited about. My Texas Future is also, like we said, going to save students information in their profiles, which will enable them to get a head start on planning for after high school. Now, this could be information about career interests they have, maybe institutions of higher education they want to explore or eventually apply to. Maybe they're looking at community colleges or information on different associate's degrees or trades that they want to explore more. Because guys, we know that students are always changing their minds as they learn about new opportunities. We're doing the same thing. And we want My Texas Future to be an exploratory tool and just a collection of all of their ideas. So when they are a senior in high school, they can look back at all of those ideas and take the ones that they want and leave the rest. That being said, we're going to go ahead and open it up for questions. So again, we'll definitely look at the questions in the chat, but if you also can put them in the Q&A box, we have a couple coming in. All right, so our first one is, in my role, I work primarily with parents to educate and empower them to be involved in their students' post-secondary transition. A common barrier is language. We work a lot with Spanish-speaking families, and it's a struggle to find resources in their preferred language. Is this offered in any other language, or is there a plan for the future to offer this in other languages? Sometimes the students themselves also are not very strong in English. Excellent, great question. Farset, I'll let you take that one.
Yes, I was trying to come off of mute. Thank you so much for your question. Yes, there is a iterative plan and a phase coming for us to start with Spanish. We're not going to just start with a Spanish version of My Texas Future for that translation. We are going to look at other languages as well, because we do want to be inclusive of all of our students. But yes, there is going to be translations for the Spanish formatting and for marketing materials to also be made in Spanish for our Spanish speaking families. Even if our students are able to have that dual language capability, we still want to, again, make sure that it is available to the families. They're also part of that planning process. So thank you so much for that question.
Excellent. Our next question is, will there be any career information for students who have a felony background or justice involvement?
Currently, we do not have that in our development phase. That is going to be something as we are developing, because we're right now in the design and development for our K-12 and transfer audience. If we see that there is a larger need for that, I do believe there are going to probably be some internal conversations, but as of right now, that is not something that we have explored in thorough or in depth. I can't say that it's not going to be part of our development process because we know that there are some specific questions kind of around that in the application process for our K-12 and transfer audience. So please stay tuned for updates how that will impact our My Texas Future design and development.
Excellent. And then we have looking at more filters under county. I'm not finding any of the 19 counties in the West Central region. Will more counties be added in the near future?
Yes, more counties will be added. We are also still, while we are currently on this webinar, I want to make sure that in just transparency, we are developing the K-12 and transfer audience, which means that if you are not seeing full capabilities at this time, that's why we didn't do a live demo, because we are actually, like, our product and data team and our vendor is actually working through adding and updating some features. So what we have currently, what we showed for the working age Texans, but yes, if you are not seeing all counties represented, they will be there.
Excellent. Our next question is, will Map My Path show how credits may or may not transfer to private schools?
So upon our first phase, we are just looking at our public institutions in the state of Texas because they are required to share data with the coordinating board. We are partnering with our private institutions. So in future iterations and phases of Map My Path, yes, they will have information about how credits will transfer to the privates. Right now, upon the first initial launch, so between that range of fall 2023 and fall 2024, we may not have the private informational data kind of aggregated and set up properly for it to do its job, which is what we want, is that seamless credit tool that is statewide, so any school. But right now, the development is focusing on all of the public institutions in the state of Texas.
Excellent. And I think you might have touched on this a little bit, but is there a more specific time this will be available? Can we plan to implement this in the fall with our students this upcoming fall?
There is not a specific timeline. And when I say that, our specific timeline is between fall 2023 and fall 2024. But if you're looking for a specific date, we don't have that launch date as of yet. Please stay tuned, not only with Texas OnCourse, but you should also be receiving some informational materials either from myself or from the marketing team and department once we are ready and to go live with our K-12 and our transfer audience.
Excellent. And how do schools partner in terms of the online advising, that warm handoff? How do schools partner with us?
We are in discussions now, so very excited about that question and very excited that you all are here with the interest. We are looking at what the agreement would be to partner with the school district, with your specific school, and with the staff and the staffing needs. We know that each individual district and each individual campus has different needs. So that's also going to be upcoming prior to the launch. What would that partnership look like? What would the time commitments and the training look like? So just please stay tuned for those updates as well.
Perfect. And is the career education exploration concept fully ready for us to access now? I want to know how I can begin to recommend this site.
The career exploration tool is live for our working age Texans, so that experience is up and running. The current availability to create an account and to save those results is what we are working on, that seamless signing in experience, while we are also curating separate experiences for the K-12 and transfer audience. So you are able to peruse the site. You are able to search. You are able to search Career Explorer. You're able to search Program Explorer. You're able to filter. You're just not able to save any of those filtered results. You're able to take the career quiz. You're just not able to, again, to save or favorite any of those results. Currently, we are not looking at not having that availability in the next few weeks, but we are currently working on it, and we're hoping to have that issue resolved by week's end. But that is going through our design and development team, so we don't have a definite deadline yet. But again, we can provide those updates to you.
Perfect. And the next question is, I'm very interested in the transfer credit feature as I work at a community college and have developed pathways for our students to the major transfer partners that we have. Can you give us more details on this new feature?
Yes, so that is great, and that's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for those community college and those four-year university partnerships that have already been established. We really are working on making this a seamless experience so that not only students, but transfer staff, advising staff are also able to utilize this tool. When we talk about recommended course sequence data, and I'm sure that's a familiar term for you working at your institution, we are trying to build a portal, and I shouldn't say trying, we are building a recommended course sequence portal, so that way it will be easy to upload the information, let's say from your institution and any other institution within the state of Texas. Again, being mindful that this first phase is going to be for all of our public institutions. We want it to be seamless so that if a student is coming from X community college and they are going to X university, no matter if it's in the same regional area or they are relocating, it is an easy, seamless experience to see these are the credits that I earned. These are how they will transfer to this university or additional institution.
Excellent. And our next question is, does Map My Path cover all levels of classes, such as lower and upper division? Does it include classes other than core classes?
That would be more of a question for the product team. I work very closely with them, so I can get you the answer. I don't have that answer currently because I am not part of the team that is aggregating that data for the recommended course sequence, but we are able to hopefully we will be working on a frequently asked questions for Map My Path in our informational marketing materials. That again is going to come out prior to the launch. So prior to us going live with the Map My Path tool, we will have all of those frequently asked questions for each of our institutions, and then also kind of a way for you to contact any of us if you have questions about your institution, uploading the information that needs to be included for the tool to be effective.
Perfect. And I'm a summer school counselor and had to step out at the beginning of the webinar. Is there an option for elementary age students to use this platform?
That is coming. We are starting with our secondary student population, just because we know that there is, especially with planning their endorsements and dual credit, and then also our transfer students, those are the next curated experiences. But there is a plan, yes, to include our elementary aged students as they begin to start thinking about college and career planning at an early age. It is not in a phased development right now, but it is a desire for future phases.
Perfect. And our next question is if Map My Path says such courses will transfer and apply as this at a school, is that guaranteed, or can the school contradict what Map My Path shows?
Right now, we're going with the information that we are provided from the institutions within the RCS portal and how they report that information to us. If there are changes made, I know that there is going to be a process in place with our product and data team on how those changes need to be reflected in the Map My Path tool, but we are aiming, the mission is for accuracy at all times. So that way the student, the advisor that is helping the student in this process, that they are clear on what will and or what won't be able to be transferred. So we are working on making sure that the information that is going to be uploaded in that portal is also going to be accurate and most up to date. And again, if any changes, there's going to be a process in place so that that can be affected as soon as possible.
Perfect. And you talked about the MOUs with colleges to connect students with the intended institution of transfer. How can we make sure institution has their MOU in place so we can contact these students?
Typically, I'm the main point of contact on the coordinating board as the program manager for My Texas Future. So you are more than welcome to reach out to me if you work with a specific institution or if you have a colleague that works at that institution. We do have current partners already in the pipeline that are actively working and have an active MOU agreement with us. But if there is an institution that you are currently employed at and you want to know if we have an active MOU on file, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you, Andrea, for putting my email address in the chat. I would be more than happy to answer any questions, even if it's just not about institutions. That's what I'm here for. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you don't get your questions answered today during the webinar.
Perfect. And our next question is there a difference between able to be transferred and accepted to complete a specific degree?
Can you repeat that for me, Lauren?
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a difference between able to be transferred and accepted to complete a specific degree? Adam, could you elaborate on that? Let me see. Could you elaborate on that a bit? If you're still with us, Adam. Awesome. Let's see. Oh. Perfect. While we're just waiting for Adam to elaborate a little bit on his question, I'm going to go ahead and just go to the next slide. And we just want to kind of remind everybody that we are on YouTube, and we would love it if you would like and subscribe to our channel. This is how you stay up to date with all of our webinars that we've done in the past. So the recording for this one will be sent out to you, but then it will also be posted to our YouTube channel. And we also, I'm just going to leave this on the screen while we answer some more questions that you have. This is a survey that we would love for you to give us your feedback on the webinar that you just saw. And we do have 2 questions in there that do ask for some feedback, like some of the information that you would like to see in My Texas Future specific to that K through 12 audience. So we'd love for you to just take a couple seconds. It's only 5 questions, but let's go ahead and answer some more of the questions that came in. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss any in the chat. And then we have Adam's question to come back to. All right, so some courses are accepted as transfer hours, but may not apply to some degrees. So will the system be able to tell students that?
So if we're referring, Adam, to the Map My Path resource tool, no, the system will not be able to tell students that. That's where the institutional advisor, the connect to an advisor feature is going to come into play. So anything specific to applying to degrees, really we want the transfer tool to be just that accuracy about transfer credit hours from institution, or even if they're, changing their programs of study, but how it's going to apply to some degrees, we really want to leave that specific to the individual that's working at the institution, especially because if there have been some changes that have not yet been reflected in the Map My Path tool, we want that warm live person to be able to meet with the student, whether it's virtual or in person, to be able to communicate how those credits will apply or be applicable to their degrees.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you, Adam, for elaborating on your question. I think that's all of our questions in the Q&A box. Let me just make sure we haven't missed any in the chat. I think there might have been a couple. Thanks, Hannah, for your comment. It will be a great tool. All right, perfect. So we help adults in the community to re-enter college. We are a TRIO EOC for adults in the RGV. What is the age limit for those who use My Texas Future?
We don't currently have an age limit as opposed to like for our working age Texans. We are looking at, I would say, permission and accessibility for our users that are not yet 18. So if we have seniors that are going to be applying to college for the first time, and yet they have not yet turned 18, we want to make sure that we have those permissions in place for them to access the site. But currently for working age Texans, there is no limit or cutoff that we have imposed. We really want it to be open to any working age Texan, any adult learner that wants to re-enroll, upskill, reskill, obtain a degree using My Texas Future.
Perfect. And then we have another question. Under the Program Explorer page, I noticed there was a field for salary. Is that listing the average salary of students who participate in the program at that institution? If so, where does that data come from?
Lauren, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, absolutely. So under the Program Explorer page, there was a field for salary. Is that listing the average salary of students who participate in the program at that institution? If so, where does that data come from?
Okay, so not specific to the institution, but specific to the program. That's where the data is coming from. So not necessarily listed to the institution. It's mostly going to be based on the program itself, and we're getting that information from our Texas Workforce Commission and from our Bureau of Labor and Statistics.
Perfect.
With the average salary.
Perfect, thank you. And then we have another one. Did you say you can create an account on My Texas Future, but it will be disabled? So maybe elaborate a little bit more on how it's.
Yes, currently, if you wanted to create like a mock account so you could get in there and explore and see how to favorite and compare, you being able to create an account, that feature is currently disabled because the design and development team is working on a seamless signing on experience. So it has not always been disabled. We have had users, our working age Texans, that have been able to create an account and log in. You are still able to actively peruse all of the features in My Texas Future. You just aren't able to save because it's going to prompt you to create an account or log in. And though that current capability is currently disabled while the product and development team is in there working on some design updates.
Perfect. And we have a specific question about Texas A&M University San Antonio. Elizabeth is asking, is there a current MOU with us?
Currently, we do not have an active MOU right now with Texas A&M University San Antonio.
Perfect. And then let's see if there's any more. Okay, is there a conflict if you also get a Texas Workforce Scholarship and financial aid? For this question, I think that, I don't know if that's a My Texas Future question specifically, but I know when I was a college advisor, I would recommend checking with the university that the student is going to see if they're going to adjust the amount of financial aid if that Texas Workforce Scholarship was rather large. Sometimes universities do adjust the amount of financial aid awarded if it's a large scholarship. Then I think, all right. Let me see, I think we covered all the questions, but I want to make sure All right. I think we covered all the questions that I'm seeing. If you have any more, you can still drop them into the Q&A box or add them to the chat. And again, we would love for you to just complete our survey. Take that couple minutes to do that. It's only like 5 questions. And we do again ask 2 very specific questions on kind of your feedback and what you want to see in My Texas Future for that K through 12 audience. So we'd love to get your input on those things. So we'd love for you to complete that survey. Don't see any other questions or comments coming in. But again, thank you, Andrea, for dropping all of the information into the chat. We really appreciate that support. And Farset's contact information is in the chat if you do want to contact her to find more about, to discover more about the MOUs that you can have with us for My Texas Future. Just remember, all of this information will be emailed out to you. We will send you the recording of this webinar that we had today, the slide deck, so you will get all of these slides. And then we'll also send you a link sheet, which will include some frequently asked questions about My Texas Future, a link to the website, links to Texas OnCourse, our YouTube page, and the contact information. So you'll get all the rundown of our webinar today. And again, just thank you all so much for being here today. We'll stay on the line for another couple minutes to make sure that we don't miss anything, but I hope that everybody has a lovely, fabulous, fantastic summer. I know I said at the beginning of the webinar, but it is absolutely my favorite time of year. So I hope you all have lovely, lovely summers and get to relax a little bit. Really appreciate it. Stay safe in the heat. It is hot in Galveston. Yes. I love that comment. Yes, I'm excited to go to Galveston in a couple of weeks, but yes, it is very hot. I definitely enjoyed growing up there by the beach, but we cannot thank you enough again for being here today. We really appreciate it. I appreciate all of your participation. Thank you so much, Farset and Andrea, for being with us today. Visit Galveston College. I might have to come in and say hi. You never know. I'll be there in a couple of weeks. That would be fun. I'd love to go see Galveston College. I used to take a typing class there back in the day. I took my AP tests there. I could go on. I had a lot of friends who went to Galveston College after high school. I went to Ball High. So if you're familiar with the Galveston area, shout out to Ball High School. Go Tours, yes. Oh my goodness, so true. That's too funny. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And again, thank you, Farset and Andrea. Really appreciate the support and all of the information that you provided for this wonderful webinar. We really do appreciate it. And on that note, I will go ahead and stop in the webinar. Thank you again, everyone, so much. Have a lovely, fabulous summer.